Who is Jude Bellingham, and why Real Madrid and Liverpool are at war for him? Football is a sport that's filled with young talent. Players who break into the game at a young age can quickly become household names and some of the biggest stars in the sport. That's exactly what's happened with Jude Bellingham, who has taken the football world by storm over the last 4 years. In this video, we'll be looking at who Jude Bellingham is, why he's the most sought-after midfielder in Europe, and where his next move will be in the 2023 summer transfer window. But before we get started, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to never miss a thing. Jude Bellingham's journey began at Stourbridge Juniors, a club originally started by Phil Woodbridge and his father, Mark Bellingham, who had a successful non-league career at Leamington while also being a police officer. Still at the tender age of 7 years old, he was snapped up by Birmingham City to join the club's under-8 development academy. Jude has not forgotten his roots. However, as several members of the current Stourbridge Junior team still receive good luck and keep going messages from Bellingham today. By the time he reached 14 years old, he was making waves in the Birmingham City under-18 squad, before being promoted to the under-23 team at the age of 15. His impressive performances did not go unnoticed, however, and he soon found himself making his debut for the first team. Bellingham made his first appearance for Birmingham in an EFL Cup match against Portsmouth in August 2019, and his league debut came just 19 days later against Swansea City. He quickly made an impact on the pitch and became an instant fan favorite. In his very first home match, he scored the winning goal in a 2-1 victory over Stoke City, and later went on to feature consistently on the team sheet, winning November's EFL Young Player of the Month. By January 2020, there was already a lot of interest from leading European clubs. Jude and his father had already visited several clubs to weigh up their next move. It was even reported that Manchester United offered an outstanding £30 million for the 16-year-old's services. The pair were said to have been given a tour of Carrington, Manchester United's training complex, where they spoke to senior staff members, including Executive Vice Chairman Ed Woodward and legendary manager Sir Alex Ferguson. The Red Devils literally pulled out all the stops. However, despite the speculation, Bellingham chose to remain at his boyhood club until the summer. The young starlet left to join Borusia Dortmund that same summer, but it wasn't in vain. As a 16-year-old, Bellingham accumulated a mind-boggling 44 appearances for Birmingham City and helped them avoid relegation to League One. Upon Bellingham's departure, Birmingham City retired the number 22 shirt in recognition of him and to inspire others. They were well aware that he was destined for greatness. Borusia Dortmund have developed a strong eye for young talent and nurturing them over the last decade, with names including Robert Lewandowski, Marco Rios, and Ilkay Gundogan springing to mind. Even more recently, there have been Jadon Sancho, Erling Haaland, and Christian Pulisic, who have laced their boots in Dortmund's yellow and black colors, and the same was promised to Bellingham: regular game time, breaking into the international squad, and consistent development to move on to a bigger club. As Mike Dodds explained, Bellingham's former coach at the Birmingham Youth Academy, he made the decision to go to Germany, when he could have probably made easier decisions in terms of his lifestyle, his family, he explained. But he wanted to make a footballing decision, what was best for his career, that he thought was the next step for him. And Dortmund fulfilled their promise. At just 17 years of age, Bellingham made his debut in a DFB Pokal match against MSV Duisburg and did not disappoint. Not only did he become the youngest goal scorer in the competition for Dortmund, but he also became the youngest scorer in any competitive match for the club. His first goal was just the beginning of what was to come. Bellingham continued to make an impact for Dortmund, with his Bundesliga debut against Borussia Mönchengladbach being one for the books. He not only grabbed his first assist of the campaign, but he also showed his potential to be a top-class midfielder, with dynamic tackling and constantly looking to get his team up the pitch. It was no surprise when he started his first Champions League match against Lazio on October 20th, 2020, becoming the youngest player to ever play in a Champions League fixture for the German club. The Englishman's debut season at Dortmund was nothing short of outstanding, as he helped the club lift their first piece of silverware in the form of the DFB Pokal. The final against RB Leipzig was a showcase of Bellingham's talent, with his relentless pressing and winning challenges high up the pitch as he helped Dortmund to a 4-1 victory. His debut season was so impressive that his fellow professionals named him Newcomer of the Season, a testament to his abilities on the field. Bellingham continued his impressive form into the 2021-2022 season, making 44 appearances and scoring 6 goals across all competitions. His performances did not go unrewarded, as he was soon named the youngest captain in the Bundesliga, a huge honor for such a young player. Although off the pitch, he's very reserved and enjoys spending time with family, on the pitch he is vocal and makes himself heard as he organizes the players, their positioning, and their game. He wore the armband for the first time against FC Köln, before repeating the feat against Sevilla in the Champions League a few days later. Today, the English box-to-box midfielder continues to break records by becoming the youngest player ever to reach 100 competitive appearances for Borusia Dortmund and 75 appearances in the Bundesliga. Just 5 months after making the move to Dortmund, Jude Bellingham made his first senior appearance for England in a friendly against the Republic of Ireland at just 17 years and 136 days. He became the 3rd youngest full international in England's history, trailing only Theo Walcott and Wayne Rooney. Not bad company either. By the end of the season, his individual successes earned him a spot in Gareth Southgate's Euro 2020 squad, where he made several substitute appearances, including in England's 1-0 wins over Croatia and the Czech Republic, and the 4-0 quarter-final defeat of Ukraine. Although many England fans lamented the team's one-dimensional performances, Bellingham continued to be a shining light and was called upon to be used more by the manager. The young midfielder's performances for Dortmund in the 2021-2022 season were equally impressive, and he was once again called up to the England squad for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. He made a stunning impact on the international stage, scoring England's first goal of the tournament in their opening group game against Iran. This was Bellingham's first international goal, and it marked the start of what promises to be an incredible international career for the young England star. This was proved just a few games later against Senegal, where his masterclass performance inspired the Three Lions to a 3-0 victory. His prodigious work rate and burgeoning quality in possession was heralded by multiple media outlets and pundits. At Dortmund, Bellingham has made a name for himself for constantly being on the move from game to game. In the Bundesliga, he is rated top 14 for distance covered at 336.1 kilometers and top 3 for sprints and intensive runs. As former Birmingham boss Pep Clotet has said, Bellingham eats up the ground, whether in his defensive duties or while supporting the attack. He achieves this with and without the ball thanks to an innate technical ability. It's what allows him to create outstanding build-up play, or spray balls across the pitch with pinpoint precision. During this time in Germany, he has averaged 265 minutes per goal involvement and has racked up 70 chances created. Impressive. It's no wonder that Papa Perez believes that Jude is the missing piece between Los Blancos' star-studded midfield of Eduardo Camavinga, Aurelien Tchouameni, and Federico Valverde. Still, they face stern competition from Champions League rivals, Liverpool FC. It only makes sense as Bellingham has been likened to the English legend Steven Gerrard, with the English Premier League club currently undergoing a midfield crisis that includes an aging James Milner and Fabinho, out-of-form Thiago, and a rough-around-the-edges Harvey Elliott. It's clear where Jude would slot right in. But without Champions League football next year, do the Reds even stand a chance? Since Liverpool is currently up for sale and attempting to attract the financial power of a billionaire owner, it might not matter. But as we've previously seen, money simply isn't enough to attract Bellingham to your club. It's success, something that Liverpool have enjoyed greatly over the last few years. But unfortunately for them, this slump has not come at the right time. There's still promise, however, in a team that still has Alisson, Alexander-Arnold, and Van Dijk. Furthermore, the midfield market is currently inflated, with the likes of Enzo Fernandez recently going to Chelsea for £106.8 million. Declan Rice looking to fetch an asking price of £120 million. Crazy, we know, but British tax. And Arsenal recently turning their nose up at an £80 million Moises Caicedo. There doesn't seem to be much hope for those who are looking to stay within the parameters of UEFA's new FFP rules. Rest assured that other European clubs, such as Manchester United, will join the race too. So where does that leave Jude Bellingham? Can Real Madrid compete with the financial might of the Premier League? Or will he end up in Madrid's famous all-white colors? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into player profiles.